From that, the International Committee of the Red Cross has urged warring factions in South Sudan and its neighbors to find a political solution to the country's 3.5-year civil war. President of the organization, Peter Murray, made this known while wrapping up his visit to South Sudan and Uganda. Communication coordinator at ICRC South Sudan, Waudo, joins us on phone from Juba to discuss this. Thanks for joining us. Now, we know this has to be a very important visit by the president. Tell us what it was like.
Hello. Please repeat your question. I did not hear it. Sorry.
Can you tell what this visit was mainly about?
Oh, the situation in South Sudan. As you may already know, there are so many people displaced in different places and across the borders. And of course, the ICRC is concerned about this. And people who fear are fleeing from their villages. We're talking about almost 2 million people at this time. Besides the conflict, there is a situation where people are faced with the lack of enough to eat, because those who have fled their homes cannot continue with agriculture and are now depending on humanitarian organizations to provide them with basics like food, water, and shelter, and they are living out in camps because they are afraid for their security.
Okay, we also know your president also visited Uganda to speak with the president, who is seen as a very important regional heavyweight to help end this crisis. What was this all about? We also know that some factions in South Sudan are not comfortable with Yoweri Museveni being part of any negotiations to stop the war in South Sudan.
Okay, firstly and foremost, the ICRC is a neutral organization that does not take sides in any conflict with any of the parties. And our president, when he came here, he saw about the situation and he had to tell the world about what is going on. And he's addressing the international community to find a solution to this problem. It doesn't matter where the international community is coming from, if it's the neighboring country or other countries. There is no humanitarian solution to the problems that are facing the people here. A political solution has to come about so that the conflict can be settled and people can return home where they feel safe and start with their lives again. So we are not political. We are only asking the international community to try and address this and help the parties to the conflict to come with a resolution. That's what the ICRC is doing.
In the course of your work, we understand safety is an issue for those working in war-torn areas. Just last week, we had the hashtag trending, not a target. How far do you think your organization is protected or safe in places, in hostile places like South Sudan?
Yes, indeed. Humanitarians are not a target. And this is a message that is being delivered not only by the ICRC, but also by other humanitarian organizations. And of course, conflict zones are not safe for, leave alone the civilians who live there, but even the humanitarians who go towards it. The situation in South Sudan is very volatile in many places. The ICRC makes contact with both parties to the conflict or anybody who's fighting in order to be able to reach civilians. So we can fortunately be able to operate in South Sudan with the agreement of the parties to the conflict. And this is very important for those who are affected by the conflict, because we need to be able to reach them, to provide them with the much needed aid because they are fleeing their homes.
Thank you so much for your time. Communication coordinator at the ICRC South Sudan, Waudo. We appreciate it.